Hello and welcome back to our podcast. My name is Dr. Alison Chiwara. I am the CEO and founder of Human Focus Limited, a company that is truly dedicated and committed to creating happier and healthier communities all around. And today, this is rather special. In fact, I want to celebrate. It's our birthday. It's a year since we began this journey together, you and I. And today, I want to honor, I suppose, my mom in such a profound way because she's the one that taught me how to even flap my very first wings. And I also want to look back at a year of lessons, legacy, and leadership that we have navigated over the last year through this podcast. I can't believe that it is already a year, honestly. You see, they say time teaches us to live with absence. But some absences never truly leave. They become the echoes that shape our walks in life. They are the echoes that show us and create purpose in our lives. And they remind us to speak with purpose as well and teach us how to really lead with heart. You see, this podcast is a heart-marked moment. For many reasons, because we did it together. Hooray. And it's a year since this podcast was born, of course. And it was born out of a soul-driven venture that also mirrored a deeper story. It was the 10th anniversary of my mom's passing, as Alison Chiwara last year on the 21st of July, 2024, was 10 years. And I wanted to do something to honor my mom's legacy and everything she had poured into me. You see, my mom still is and was my biggest inspiration. She is my best friend, was my best friend, and she was truly my earliest mentor. I think most parents are our earliest mentors. And most importantly, she was my fiercest believer. And I emphasize this. She was a woman who danced to the rhythm of her own convictions. What she spoke, she stood by. She was born of Zambian parents, or Zambian roots rather, through her dad. And then, of course, her mom from Goromonzi. She carried a lion-hearted legacy. She was fearless, a visionary, wildly generous, to a fault sometimes, I felt. And she knew how to touch those who perhaps were termed hard to reach. And she did so without asking for validation. She made impact her daily bread, her daily habit. Now, I want you to pose with me here. Before we talk titles, leadership, and legacy, let's just sit together for a moment. Let's just pretend we're under this amazing mango tree of memory with the scent of mangoes, some raw, ready to ripe, just hanging off the trees, or perhaps an avocado tree somewhere in the glorious sunshine of Africa. Let's talk about our mothers, our fathers, the ones who raised us, whether they are your biological ones, your adopted, fostered, or you found along life's road, as many of us have on some path, those who poured into us from empty cups, like truly empty cups, those who disciplined, dreamed, cried, perhaps prayed and showed up, or perhaps didn't. This episode is for them. And it's for you too, because you carry them in your head, in your lead, in how you love and how you see yourself. I want to share a really short story here about a mother's love. There's a short story that my mom used to share with me about a mother who used to carry her baby on her back, babu as we call it in Zimbabwe, and plowed an entire field without stopping. She sang to the child as she worked. She kept the rhythm with her horn. And when she stopped, it wasn't because she was tired, but only because the baby needed feeding. Are you with me here? In Shona, they say, amai avarare kana mwana achichema. It means mothers do not sleep. The mother will not sleep when the child is crying. Now that's leadership. Leadership that serves only when it's not only when it's unseen. Leadership that listens, Leadership that lifts, that nourishes you first before it nourishes itself. Leadership that teaches us to dare, to believe, and to not fear rooms where we were invited into, because you were invited into them. I want to talk a little bit about cultural capital and identity. Last week, on invite by Deputy Lieutenant Eunice Simpson, I told some young adults at West Lothian College that their accent, their traditions are treasure, their cultural norms, their stories are their strategy. In fact, collectively, is their superpowers. You can be anything that you dare to tell and trust your mind to be. Those were often my mother's words when I doubted myself, or when I was telling her about something I was about to do, but I was never sure. She says, you can be anything, Ali. Anything that you dare to tell and trust your mind, because it's a mindset thing. Whatever you tell and trust your mind to be able to do, it will achieve it for you. She taught me that when we carry, or what we carry from our backgrounds, isn't baggage. It's brilliance. It's the kind of intelligence that no degree can teach. That adaptability, moving from one country to another, moving from one culture to another, learning new languages, traveling the world on your own sometimes. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you resourcefulness at a very early age. And now we have a responsibility. The doors our parents knocked on with bruised knuckles have now been opened for us. Some stayed ajar, some were kicked wide open, but the burden and the beauty is ours to walk through them wisely without distracting, wisely with caution, wisely with intention, so that those doors remain open for those to come. Let me ask you something. What is it that your parents or those who raised you poured into your life? What songs did they sing over your soul, just like the African mother with her baby on her back, plowing a hard-soiled field? What discipline did they plant that now blooms in your boundaries, in your values? What fears did they pass down, perhaps, that you have unknowingly carried into your adulthood and even poured into your children unknowingly? And then most importantly, did maybe your parents teach you how to hold your word like a contract? Did they show you how to speak truth, even when your voice shook like my mother did? Were you raised in silence, chaos, or maybe surrounded by lots of love? And whatever that may have looked like, how did that shape how you lead today and how you navigate life today? Because here's the truth. They say that leadership begins in the cradle. Before we stood on platforms, before we could write songs, before we could write theses, before we could even write business plans or do degrees or teach others or support others, we stood on the backs of those who came well before us. See, the Bible kind of says, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. But what if that training came with trauma? What if it came with gaps, with silence, with sacrifices? Still, God has a way of turning generational pain into purpose. Because even in absence, there's learning. Even in brokenness, there's becoming. Every case, every situation is an opportunity awaiting you. You see, the Bible also goes to say, you will know them by their fruit. But fruit doesn't grow without root. Are you with me? So again, I ask you, who are your roots? What are your roots? And what fruits are you now bearing? You see, my father was quiet, tall, extremely tall and grounded, perhaps 6'7", a giant in presence, but soft in nature. My mother, a visionary, daring, never needed permission, like I said earlier, to speak what her heart knew. Literally, she trusted her heart more than anything. Together, they raised me on two pillars: order and possibility. I probably hold the latter more dearly, possibility. What you tell your mind and trust your mind to do, it will do for you. Isn't that what leadership is? Order and possibility. To carry the voice of a mother and the vision of your father, to walk into rooms with the posture of someone who truly belongs. And the humility of someone who remembers who cleaned their nose as a baby. Now, that is humility. It's quite humbling, isn't it? And brings humanity in your leadership touch, I feel. So, to those listening today who never knew their parents, or who were wounded by their absence or presence, more than their presence, I see you. I see you. I hear you. You're not broken though. You're not less anyway. You're proof that love finds new channels anyway. And wisdom often comes from strangers that the universe sends your way. To my team, Ibrahim, Kobe, Lawrence, thank you for catching every deadline I dropped on you late at night. To my children, my partner, but let me start with my children who've missed mommy more than I admit. Thank you for your grace. Because I've fallen short at times because I've been so driven to make sure that each week in, week out, we send out a podcast. To my partner, you are my calm, my safe space. To every listener, every subscriber, thank you for letting this podcast be your Wednesday soul food, if that makes sense. And to those hearts and to the people who have poured back into me, I will name with full honor Pastor Nelson, Henry, and Pastor Gideon. Thank you. Rest, Walter, Mandla, Joanne, Dr. Melody, Diane, Fiona, Helene, Wendy, Bayile, Vamugadza, Victor, Andre, Dexter, Lady K, Abnash, Dr. Tisha, Alex, Lazi, Tendai Cats, Tale. You guys, you are the village behind this voice. Thank you for believing in me and reminding me, Ali, you haven't sent the podcast. Walter, continuously just spreading the word. Thank you, Walter. Thank you. Now, let's be honest a little bit here. We still have work to do, right? All of us, included me. Healing is a process. Leading is a responsibility. And legacy is intentional. In Shona we say, kujarambesa, kuchengetedza modzi. To plant the seed is to protect the future. Are you with me? So what are you planting now for those who will come well after you? Not the ones just behind you, well after you. As we mark this 1-year milestone, I would like to say, let your leadership be soft enough to heal. Because sometimes we're hard on ourselves. But let it be so strong enough to break generational chains. I don't know what those generational chains are. But let it be strong enough. Let it be soft enough to let go the things that no longer serve you. Let your roots be so deep. Even if your past was cracked on the surface, Let those roots hold you firm. And let us build like my mother did, with joy, with purpose, and without needing applause. Because that's what true leadership is. To my mother, Amai, Spiwe, you're the reason I dare. To every parent, present or departed, who shaped us, who shaped you, oh gosh, we honor you. Here's to another year of work, wisdom, and still becoming the very best version of ourselves. Because the granary is full and the harvest is just beginning for yet another year of loading and reloading that granary. This perhaps has been one of my strongest and most emotional milestones. To do something that I thought I would give up halfway through because I didn't know if I could keep up with the momentum. But I am so blessed. I've had an incredible team. Ibrahim, the orchestrator of consistency and continuity, showing up and turning up every week and reminding me that it needs done. Kobe, for almost standing there and just believing that it is worth doing. Lawrence, for being the strategist that you are. It's been a year of incredible learning and incredible lessons. It's been a year of so much learning. Oh gosh. And working with purpose. But what I found, and I want to thank each and every one of you, the smiles that you've given me, when some of you have written directly to me, I'm blessed. When some of you have responded with your truth, I'm blessed. And what I hope to do is next year, we should have a book ready for you to read. I've had so many people from all over the world asking me, where's the book? When is the book dropping? Well, very, very soon. And thank you for believing in the content. And please keep sharing, keep subscribing, and still believing in yourself because you matter. It's goodbye from me and goodbye from Human Focus Limited to your organizations, to your communities. Until next time, keep believing. Because the granary is full, we don't stop learning. Take care. See you next time.